Hello, health coaching class. Welcome to week 2 of health coaching, although we started a little bit late, which I apologize for. I need to, or wanted to, I should say, just touch base with you all. I'm getting lots of questions about the agency profile, which I really appreciate. But there was a little bit of confusion, and I recognize some of this stuff is in different spots, and I probably should work towards getting it all in one place, but this is just the way it's always made sense to me. The instructions for the agency profile are actually on this in the syllabus. I think this is, yeah, page 5 of the syllabus. All we're really looking for is when we're going through health coaching or when we're working with a client, one of the things we have to learn and think about is recognizing when the person needs something beyond what we can give them. So the agency profile assignment is designed just to allow you an opportunity to investigate a social service agency in your community, such that if you were talking to a person and you realize, like, oh, okay, they've got maybe some mental health issues, or maybe they need some help from a registered dietitian, or maybe they need some kind of service above what the expectation of care that we could provide them is, then you would know a little bit about this agency. I actually learned about this kind of investigation way back when I was doing my internship as an undergrad. I worked for Rape Crisis in Akron, and one of the things that they had me do was test out some of the local pregnancy agencies just to kind of see how they would deal with someone posing as a survivor of a sexual assault, which I don't feel like super awesome about, but there was no other way to kind of incognito see how they would treat me and what options they would give me with regard to, choices or decisions that someone under those circumstances might be interested in making. And so that's the reason we look at the agency's mission statement, because often then we can be clued into what the priorities of that agency are. And that doesn't mean that we wouldn't use them at all. Even some of those more conservative pregnancy agencies, for example, that have really clear pro-life undergirds, once you really check it out, are still places that I would refer people to, but based again on what decision they maybe had already made, and what options or opportunities they were looking for, right? So, for example, one of them might not be really like, well, these are your options now that you're pregnant with this, your offender's baby, right? A really conservative agency doesn't see that you have options in that same kind of progressive way, but they may offer, as some of them did, exceptional opportunities or resources for folks that might be wanting to maintain that pregnancy, or and become the parent of that child, or even turn that child over in an adoption situation, or however that might go. So someone that was like, oh, I'm not quite sure what I want to do, and thought maybe that a termination was an option, would not be someone I would refer there, because definitely some of those places did not give that as an option. Some of them got really kind of cruddy about how they spoke to you. And so we don't have to take this down to that level. This is just a health coaching class. But here again, thinking about, and that's why we look at, okay, where are their funding sources coming from, which also might clue in where or what the priorities of that agency might be. So don't overthink it. You're giving me 2 different opportunities, 2 different suggested places you might want to look at via email, just so that everyone's not doing the same agency, because you'll notice when later weeks open up that everyone's agency profiles will be listed without their names. And so I do ask, when you save that assignment, when you turn it in, please save your file as, the name of your agency. So let's say you did, I'm just going to say like Giant Eagle, which is not a choice, right? But it would just be agents Giant Eagle is all you need to put in the what do you call that when you save a file? Whatever you call the file. I can't think the name of the file or whatever. You don't even have to put your name. You'll upload it through Learn, so I'll know that it's yours, and that's how you'll get your grade. But that helps me facilitate, like, okay, here's the Red Cross, here's Planned Parenthood, here's the Portage County Health Department, or whatever you all are going to be choosing. And I have already started to get options for folks, which is good news. So most of you are still getting your first choice. And again, I apologize. I know our calendar just opened yesterday, which I did fix. I noticed I had a little extra box, so my normal like release as we go cycle wasn't working, so I apologize for that, but that's fixed for the rest of the summer. So send me those, and then I can approve them as quickly as I can, and then you can go ahead and get started if you want. Another thing people sometimes run up against with this assignment is having difficulty getting the agency's annual report. You will notice if you look at the rubric, there are a couple of points for that, so you do want to try to be able to find it. I know a lot of you are online, some of you are out of state or even out of the country, so feel free to just put a link to it. You're not going to find the annual report for 2019 because that year's not over yet, but even if it's a 2018 or older, it's okay. It's just another mechanism that helps us sort of investigate the agency and say, all right, here's how much money they have coming in and here's where it's going. I learned that lesson the hard way years ago when United Way actually came under some controversy because their CEO, or whatever you would call the person that was in charge at the time, was siphoning millions and millions of dollars for personal use, which is something you should have been able to kind of see reflected on that annual report. So if the annual report is impossible to get, we won't worry about it. Like I said, it's only a few points and you'll have plenty buffered into the course, but also don't feel like you have to copy paste it. You could actually just put a web link or whatever in there. All right. Okay, I hope that's helpful. This video ended up being longer than I wanted it to be. I was just trying to say hey real quick, and I'm trying to keep up on the grading. I've got most of your first videos, which are awesome. I appreciate all your efforts with that. I'm going to start, I have a Skype appointment coming up here with the doc student, which you don't need to know, but I'm going to get to the logs after that. And you'll notice I'll respond to your log, and when you look down, you might see different colored text where I respond to you in the body of that. So, all right, glad to have you in class. Sorry this video ended up being a little bit longer than I thought it would be, but I appreciate all your energy. I really do appreciate it when you're saying like, hey, this is confusing, or hey, this didn't open up. So please keep talking to me because I miss not having you in person when we can have those one-on-ones or those, opportunities to say like, could you clarify this? And that's why I'm sending the video, so that I will still answer all of your emails, but this way hopefully helps clarify. All right, take care. Good to see you again. Bye-bye.